We are from Altamys. I don't think you don't know us because it's our first time here. And we work with, the company is working with DNN just since 1 or 2 years now. For my part, I work with DNN since the third version with someone you must know, that is Gilles Pigochet. I don't know if you know him. So for my part, I was starting by developing, and so I was working with him about DNN, and he explained me how to do it. I started with ASP and .NET and SharePoint, and after that I worked with DNN. So when we were hired by Altamys, we had a company and we made a fusion with Altamys. They had some .NET developers, and they were using Drupal as a CMS. And when we came there, we said, well, we will stop Drupal and we will use DNN now, because we loved that solution. So we said, let's use this CMS. And in the company we had .NET developers, so it was, for our point, more intelligent to use .NET developers than having PHP developers one part and .NET developers the other part. That's about how we came to DNN. And when I say we, it's me and Eric, because we began a company that was called KK Systems, and we made a fusion with Altamys. So Altamys, why we did that? Because we wanted to grow, and it's not that easy to grow in the business. And so Altamys was a 10-person company 2 or 3 years ago, and now we are 20. And we are focused on .NET technologies. And so we are a medium-sized French company. And now we work a lot with DNN, and we try to propose that solution to our clients a lot. Okay, so now we are working with DNN. We are trying to do awareness around this solution, because in France it's not well known. We are working with partners in France, so we are working with DEV PCI, represented by Mathieu here, but I think you've met maybe the other one that are around. And we still work with Gilles Pigochet a lot, because I love him. I want to work with him. For the people who knows him, it's not that easy to work with him, but he's making extraordinary stuff, so we keep working with him a lot. For my part, now I'm focused on marketing and business development. That's why I put the Tech Days advertised, because we made the Tech Days this year. We had an area for Altamys, and we showed the DNN solution in the Tech Days. And it was not that easy, because even in the Tech Days, nobody knew DNN. So they were coming in our stand and saying, what is that? And so we had to explain and explain. And each time they say, it's like Drupal, it's like WordPress, what is the difference? So we have to explain and explain and explain. So each time we have to do business, we have to face those technologies. I don't know, that's my last question. It's the same in all the European countries, but it's a question I think we have to ask together and try to find a solution together, maybe with DNN Connect and the association, and I don't know how, but if we want to make business with DNN, we have to make marketing, promote the product. That's my point of view. And, I would love to discuss about that with you, because I have some point of view, but we may have another point of view that will help us in France. So as I said, each time we say we have an open source solution in Microsoft technology, the client says, well, it exists, you're open source in Microsoft, but we don't have to pay. No, you don't have to pay, it's an open source solution. So that's another point we have to explain each time we have to explain what is DNN. So that is the part about business development, and I'm focused now on DNN awareness and promotion, because in France, if we want to sell the solution, I think we need to tell the people what is DNN. So we try in Altamys to be in events, to be in blogs, to share, to be on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on whatever, and to talk about DNN, saying that it's a good solution, a good CMS, that WordPress is not a CMS. No, I'm kidding, because I'm not talking about the other solution, but just saying that the same as Drupal, as WordPress, as Joomla, we have a good CMS on .NET solution, and sometimes it's killing me that I see a list of CMS or open source solution and not DNN. So each time I write down, I post something saying we have a good solution in .NET technology, and try it.
Okay.
So when I tried to make appointments around DNN, I met a lot of people at Microsoft France, and I met people that are in charge of open source solution, because we have people now in charge of open source solution in Microsoft and in charge of partnership. And they are telling us that the good way to talk about DNN is the storytelling. Why? It's because we show solutions. We show that's their point of view. I mean, we can discuss around that idea, but it's a good way to say, well, the client asked for that. With DNN we can do it, or by buying a module that exists, or developing something, but you have the base in Microsoft technology, and after that you can do whatever you want. Everything is open. And sometimes the clients say, well, is there something you cannot do? I say, no, I think we can do everything. At least you have money. For $5 million, I mean, we do Star Wars if you want, but the only stuff is the money and the time, for sure. But from my point of view, I love that solution, and I think when you have DNN and you have a good developer, you can do whatever you want. So now, for the storytelling part, so Gilles Dutertre and Mathieu will show you the client question and how we answered to that question. It was a tricky question. The problem was to automatize a newsletter, because they were sending newsletter twice a week.
I'll take
And
it now.
they were making themselves, and they wanted to automatize, that's right, the process. So
Okay,
we answered to that question with DNN. Thank you, and I let my partners.
So,
to focus on a project, we worked for CSEEE. Who is this customer? It's a French federation gathering about 500 members, all working in a company dealing with electricity. And our aim is to support feedback, advice on different areas such as economics, laws, etc., etc. So when we met them, they shared some information by sending a paper newsletter with a lot of documents. So they were well organized. They gathered all the information, print it, and expedite it with La Poste by mail. Yes, so it was quite archaic organization, and they asked us to translate it to an electronic newsletter. The aim for that newsletter was for them to keep the information organized the same way, so that the members don't get lost. They don't want to make such a big change, but one of the main points was that people in CSEEE are not very well aware of the technique. Imagine they are mainly secretaries, etc. So we had to propose something very simple, which is quite difficult with newsletter matters, as you can imagine. So we worked on it, as Eleanor said, with DEV PCI and Gilles Le Pigochet. I can switch to this one. And we choose to use DNN. Then we picked ONIAC technology. We used the Axon module. Maybe you can talk about it.
Okay. So, hi everybody. So, as you perhaps you know a little bit more about DEV PCI instead of Altamys course, we are for now about 8 years working with DNN technology in France. And we are very proud to be a partner with Altamys onto this first project that we've made with them. It's not about a long time story, it's only about 8 or 9 months that we met. And as you have seen this weekend, the French partner is very strong. And this is for my thought, this is a very important thing to show you here in this DNN Connect, is that we are really able to work together on projects around DNN. And well, I'm really sure that if we've done it a lot, it's a better way to make sure that we can take major structure, because we will be more influenced in the ecosystem of CMS. So for this project, when Altamys calls us, we will have to deal with these things. In fact, as Jill told you, the first thing is that we have to deal with people that were not DNN people anymore, and not DNN and not HTML skilled people. So that was the first point. The other point was the delay. We have to deal with a very short delay. We have about 20 days to make all the websites, not only the newsletter problematic, including, you will see slides later, including, of course, responsive design, etc. We also have to deal with the fact that we'll have to make it show compatibility with Outlook mailers. As if you have worked on this kind of project, you all know that it's very important things. And with Outlook, we've got a lot of things to deal with. I've got a part of the template that we have to integrate. And you'll have to deal with very old HTML code to make sure that you get compatibility with Outlook. For example, you have to deal with tables for the structure. You cannot really use divs or things like this. So this is the major point that we have to deal with. It was our first project with Altamys, so it was a very strategic project for us to make sure that it could be realized in this time, and well done, of course. So our approach, of course, is very simple, but I have put the three major points about our approach. So the first one was to make sure that all these users in the client will be able to use the interfaces. And well, we have already got this kind of project in the PCI about newsletters, campaigns, email campaigns, and we all know that it's not so easy for users to make sure that they are really able by themselves to make real good, nice campaigns. Even if the first shot is made with you, it's always okay. But for the second one, it's very problematic for non-skilled people. So for that part, we have worked a lot with Gilles Gaucher. He was the main developer on the newsletter module. In fact, we have decided to create a new interface only for the creation of the body of the newsletter using a wizard module. You have to know that the content of the body of the newsletter is not a content that is typed by the customer, but it's content extracted from the data of a news module installed onto the website. So the customer has to choose articles that he wanted to include into the new newsletter that will be sent. So we've got to deal with dynamic contents for the body of the newsletter. And with Jill, we decided to interface it with a wizard module with a step-by-step process. And this is the way we relegate it for the usability. To make sure that all is well done, of course, we do not never modify any DNN source code, of course. And not only DNN source code, but also some modules that we used for this project. And we used one, some module. This is OnYarTech, perhaps you know OnYarTech. This is the Axon module. This is a module that is able to manage by itself newsletters. But it cannot give you the faculty to inject dynamic content in the body. So, sorry?
Yeah, you can prepare it very easily. You have to...
Yeah, it's yeah. You see that it's a module that is developed by a developer, so the interface is very well known for all of us, but for a non-HTML people, it's not so easy to use. So the idea was to use this Axon module to gain time into the whole process of this project. And we use it for two functionalities, the tracking links method and the send method. So to deal with it, we bring time into this project, and we have only focus onto the interface to create a newsletter that has been sent once all the tests are done into the Axon module. And of course, we do not have changed any source code of the Axon module.
Maybe show you some examples. How CSEEE is using that module. They gather all the informations, they size it on the article modules, and then use the newsletter. It takes actually 2 minutes for them to send the newsletter. Why? Because first step is to size the objects of the newsletter, and then they can list all the content sized on the website since the last time. So they have the data that is already filled. So they only have to check, to click on this button, oops, to refresh the list, click and reorganize the content they want to display. Actually, we use a drag and drop method, so you can, for example, put this article in the second position, and 2 minutes after, they can see on the screen how the newsletter will be displayed. They can send it, and that without even recording it on the newsletter database. It's only a first feeling, and if it's okay, then they can go on Axon module, register it, and then push it by mail actually. So then what I can say is that we spent some time together with the customer for the first newsletter, as Matthew already explained. We took 1 day to form them, so they can use it, to train them, so they can cite articles online and then use the module. And now they are fully happy with it. And we asked them what was the main thing for them about DNN, because what we didn't say that the person who decided previously used Drupal, and she said she was very happy to see such an easy application, and everything is already available and very easy to use. And for example, the newsletter, she didn't expect such a result. So I think we reached our goal, and that was a good collaboration with all 3 companies.
Well, just a precision about all the components that we used in the Wizard module. We use Telrix components, and as you know, with DNN 7.2, you can ensure some troubles with Telrix onto browsers like here. So we have made a lot of work with DEV PCI to make sure that all is correctly displayed using this kind of components using Telrix. Yeah. Also, yes, we have integrated, the body of the newsletter is using a template system using tokens. This token system is also a token system that DEV PCI used in all its proper developments. It's such like, okay, as you can see, right. It's some kind of result tokens, you see, because you got conditional things, you got your objects and your properties for each object. So it's a very rich token engine that you provide. So you got a little extract of the templates that we use for the body of the newsletter. As you can see, we've got loops, and we can find the tracking links, for example, that will be taken, and in the last step of the wizard, all is recreated with pure HTML, and we inject it to the Axon module. So in fact, here we are recreating a token from the Axon module structure, but not a real link. We have to deal with this kind of things too. So this is, as you know, this is not a very heavy website that we have to deal with, but every time that we've got newsletter things, you know that you have to deal with this old stuff, and in a very short time with all the rest of the website to do. It was a challenge for us, and to work with new partners. And well, this is for technical parts. I will not show you about source code of module codes. unfortunately, Gilles Pigochet is not here and he's the main dev, so I don't think that it's the interesting part, and this is part that is from him, you know. But we really want to show you today that we can work together. We were three, and I really think that for projects that could be more heavy, perhaps a community with other countries and friends could be a good solution to answers for other projects.
If I can, I just wanted to add that each time we presented that solution to other clients, everybody said, wow, it's great because it's fast, and some other clients are now asking us to do the same thing for them. And we wanted to, it's possible for us to show you online the solution, but we have no connection, so it's difficult, but maybe if you want after, maybe we can try to have a connection and to make a demo online on the...
A technical question. Why are you using Axon and two questions. Why are you using this? I suppose that is for sending the email. And why are you not using, for example, something like MailChimp or something like that?
Yeah.
Recently, I've been integrating all kinds of newsletter sending to MailChimp. It's done easy, it works just perfectly. So why are you using
why is this one instead of the other one or the other one? You're totally right that all the solutions deployed as module, DNN module for newsletter problematics. Well, we use this module because we used to work a lot with the ONIAC module, so we've got background into these modules, and in fact, we do not need a lot of things from the third module parts, but the tracking link system was really top for what we wanted to do.
So, if I can say, it was a very strong requirement for the client to have some statistics, and we had a short time, so Axon was the easier way to do it, and we used also MailJet, which is similar to MailChimp.
Well,
so
I'm just wondering why you use that, because with MailChimp you have all of these for free.
Yeah.
Is there any?
In fact, you're totally right. We also can do it, I think, with MailChimp. It's just a choice of us because of well knowing the Axon suite modules. It's only for this reason.
I have a question for you. What is the input modules that you use? Is this HTML modules, or is this? I mean, there's a lot of news, RTX modules.
Yes, it's specific modules that was installed by Gilles Pigochet for all the news parts of the website.
Okay.
But it's a module such as a news article module from Montreal.
Yeah.
It's quite the same thing.
Okay. So this is a specific module.
Yeah, this is specific module. Yeah, but in fact you could easily adapt it for a regular module for news.
It could be a good idea to say there is some interface where a programmer can put in an adapter to
such a configuration.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is the idea, in fact, to have the interface in and out, in for the news things to input into your body, and the output to make sure that we go, for example, plug it to MailChimp or another module for the sending part. Yes.
Do you filter the content of the news articles that are in the system? And has the user the ability to place them in the newsletter, or does the system place it?
Yeah, in fact, you got twice, because you have the end on the template, and as Jill mentioned, it's when the user is using the wizard, he can choose articles that he wants to include into the body and reorder them as he wants. But it's not only articles, you also got another part with events from an event calendar. So the template is more sophisticated than only news. You got a part of, we don't see it a lot, but
I can say a bit more about it. For example, when you cite the article, it has a status, published or not. If not, then it doesn't appear on the list. And then we also have categories. And the template is adapting. For example, we have a specific picture, some CSS rules that applies to each different category. So that when, for example, the customer wanted to see social information in yellow with the first picture, so we implemented all that in the template and mixed it then with the data in database.
And the filtering, do you filter the content?
The filter then it's done. She can pick. Or
no, I mean the HTML content of the news article. Like if they, for example, have a YouTube video in there, do you cut that out? Or
yeah, no. In fact, we have, as I mentioned, we have a very short time to do this, and it was not a request from the client. The content is only about text from articles, very simple articles.
So there's no pictures in it, or?
Yes, you can put pictures.
No.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
attach
what is if the picture in the article has a relative link on the website?
Yeah, all is on the website.
Yes.
So
Everything is on the website.
You have to translate it to an absolute link in the
Yeah, all is absolute link.
Yeah, okay.
Because all links are into a mailer, so you have to put it all in absolute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if it's a link onto text.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was wondering, how do you manage email addresses?
On the same method is, in fact, we use the Jetmail solution for the eCTP process. For sending, we use external services called Jetmail.
Yes.
Provide the list of email addresses.
Access to the website is secure with login and password. So when you're a member, you have to give some information, such as email, for example, and all members are registered in the standard user module in the DNN, so they can connect. And then once we send, there is a step where you select the users by roles, such as there are 2 roles, member or simple visitor, and they only click on the member, and then the newsletter is sent to all the members at once.
You are sending to the registered users?
Yes.
Yeah. This is an extranet website, in fact, with restricted access to the content. We've got a last part to show you. Perhaps if you got other questions after this third part, because Eric will show you next steps. It's kind of roadmap of
Hosting.
Yes.
hosting deployments that is
Just a little part.
processed in Altamys using Azure. I let Eric tell you a little bit more about it.
Actually, we hosting a lot of sites. We hosting about 500 sites on our hosting solution, because we have their own our own hosting servers, and we spend a lot of time for administration, for maintenance of these things, and actually we are using only hosting at Equinix, and we are made an evolution to work with Azure for development, and we actually work on to make an hybrid functionality of hosting solution with adding on our hosting the Windows Azure Pack. Do you know this solution? It's an add-on that we put on the Windows Server 2K12 and minimum. And we have the full management like Azure on the site. It's really great because the problem we have for the hosting of a solution that we have to content customers, we have to content developers, and also technicians, because to maintenance all the solution. Like the first big evolution normally arrive at August, and we work on all this integration, Azure for development and Equinix for production, and we have a solution to push automatically from Azure on-premise. And the third and normally arrive at December. Normally at December we have a full hybrid solution with Azure and Windows Server, and we can merge on the two environments. When the customer want to be on the cloud, we can develop and rest on Azure, and if we want to go to Equinix, we can go to Equinix. With this solution, normally we have full availability for hosting, and but it's a concept, and we normally put this online normally on August, but it's very hard. I can show you just a slide on the Azure on the Windows Azure Pack. You have the Azure platform on this side, and we have all the servers in Equinix, and we check all the same functionality on Azure and on-premise. We have websites, VM, support, and service bus, and normally other functionality at the end of this year. And if you don't, so it's the vision of the administration of Azure. And if we just take a look, it's the administration on Windows Azure Pack. We have the same functionality and the same administration. So for the customer or for the technician, we have the same feeling to create VM, to create web services. So for us, where we are reducing the cost of maintenance on service by 2. 50%.
You don't know the price it will cost on Azure yet, because you didn't do it yet.
No.
So
it's
can you explain how you estimate the price that it will cost you on Azure when it's in production? Because I think that everybody I've been talking to have a hard time figuring out how much a DNN website will cost once it's on Azure, and past the initial free period, how much will I spend? I think that many people wonder, how can you calculate this?
In fact, what has been shown here is the fact that Azure structure will only be used for not for production, but for development environments.
For the moment.
So we in this schema, we are not on the production environment onto Azure, but only for development parts. So I think I understand your question about the cost of production website onto Azure, which depends on the traffic on the websites. Of course, this is still things that we do not manage very well, but I think this is why Eric decided to do it by this first step of pushing onto Azure only development production servers on websites, development and not production.
Because actually the problem that we have with Azure is to have to push the development environment in the premise. And actually with the Microsoft Azure Pact we can use on this side, not on this side. Normally, Microsoft had a product who's called Express Route, but it just arrived now. But
so, I mean, how do you handle, for instance, things like the functionality of SQL Server is quite reduced on Azure compared to the real product.
Yeah.
So you can you cannot do some things if you leave them coldly. It could be possible.
Yeah. But and we have to test SQL the last version, because normally the last version of SQL Server have a complete functionality with Azure, but we have to test.
This is some kind of flaw.
Yes, again, it's a concept.
It's not. Well, Eric will try it with this roadmap, you know. For sure, it will probably have to adapt. It's once it will be,
but it's very important for us. It's to reduce the cost of the maintenance of all the service. And for development, Azure is for me it's a good platform for the moment.
Yeah.
In Windows Azure Pack, do you have a cost simulator?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's answer part of my question. You can simulate how much it would cost
on my hosting, not on Azure. The cost of Azure is depending of the cost, but Microsoft they decide on the price. But on my Windows Azure Pack, we have normally tools to create some pack for developers, for customers, and we put our costs for hosting.
So Windows Azure Pack is on Azure?
No,
it's on your server,
it's on premise.
But does it give you a simulation of the price that it would cost if it was on Azure?
No, for
No,
that,
it does not.
we have the Azure calculator.
Benoit, if you want to calculate Azure, there is a calculator on the
Yes.
Windows
Yes.
on the Windows website. You can go there and calculate whatever you want.
Yeah. You ask.
Azure Pack is something you install on your server. It's there and you can install.
We have made some simulations to remember since you the website SQL.
I just wanted to end it by telling you that we are very happy to be here with you and to meet everybody of the community. And I hope that next year we will be here too. And we are very proud to be here and very happy to meet you.